The highlight of news over the weekend, or perhaps I should say the low light, was the news that Standard & Poor's had decided to downgrade France and 8 other European countries. This, taken together with news that Greece's negotiations with its bankers in terms of retiring a large proportion of its crippling sovereign debt had ground to a halt, had significant impacts for both the equity and currency markets. Looking at equities first, on release of the news, the Standard & Poor's index in the United States plummeted. However, it clawed its way back to be only 50 points off by close. This pattern was followed in most other European markets. In New Zealand and Australia, however, our markets had closed before the news was released. As a result, the New Zealand market was up nearly 8 points and the Australian market nearly 15 points. However, we would expect to see the residual of that news coming through in terms of softness in trading today. Looking in terms of the currency markets, however, most currencies spiked against the euro. Looking at the Kiwi, however, it bucked the trend and actually fell marginally. The Kiwi was, though, up against most of its major trading partners. Schedule prices for beef stayed relatively consistent over the last week, though this marks a long-term decline in the price for premium beef. In the US, we're running into what's called Super Bowl month, where the Super Bowl final was held in the middle of February. Customarily over this time, prices for beef products in the US, particularly ground beef, increased dramatically, sometimes by up to 10%. Will we see much impact on New Zealand farm gate prices as a result of this? Two caveats, I guess. The first thing is that US domestic supply has to be soaked up before we'll see any response back here in the New Zealand market. Secondly, of course, we have to watch out for that US-New Zealand cross, which is already nearly topping 80 cents. Any significant increase in that will obviously impact detrimentally on farm gate prices in New Zealand.